Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Untold Legends Brotherhood of the Blade, where last time we got to go through, what was the name of that place? Was it the Shattered Halls, I think it might have been? And we got to go through there and save Kaylee, because she was being held hostage, kinda. it didn't necessarily look like she was being held against her will, since she can teleport away from it whenever she wants. But she just likes to make me go and dive through the slog of crap in order to be like, oh hey, well I can't come back with you, so I'll just teleport on my own, and I'll see you later. But now, we get to go back there again, and we are going to the Necrosis Citadel in the Deadeye Ridge, which, it's a long dungeon, man. It's not a short little stint. We're not going to be running in there real quick to run a couple of errands. We're going to be in here for probably about 10 minutes or so. Maybe a little longer than that. It's not like the longest dungeon. It'll be the longest one that we've done so far. We'll put it that way. It's I believe a 4-floor dungeon. But because, you know, these Citadel types aren't exactly, you know, the most laden with enemy locations, like I have shown you when we went through that place once, it won't be quite as bad as you know, you have been led to think. It's frustrating because you would think, you know, with a dungeon name like the Necrosis Citadel, it sounds so wildly harrowing, and it should, you know? I mean, that sounds easily like the most destructive, you know, locale that we could have possibly gone to so far, but it's just, you know, look at this place. You're like, oh my god, it looks like a fucking temple hollowed out into the side of a mountain. You go in there and you think, well, this is going to be a serious problem. But you come in here and there's just barely anybody in here. I mean, every once in a while you run into a couple of, you know, fairly dense populated areas, but not so much. I mean, in this opening corridor alone, one enemy. I mean, this is supposed to be where, like, one of the main dudes is, you know? Okay, where are we going here? There's got to be some sort of, there we go. Now, the way the mini-map makes it look, there's supposed to be like a bridge to cross over that, but they don't necessarily detail it horribly well. Like, look at this. There's such a big distance between people. It's like they're not anticipating that, you know, that there's going to be anybody here, you know? I mean, if you're supposed to be guarding some of the most, you know, world's best kept secrets on, you know, recipes for paella or whatever the fuck, that you would at least try to put a few more people in here. I mean, at least, like, double up on your defenses. If it were me, and I had, you know, and I had that magic recipe for, you know, the best barbecue west of the Mississippi, I would have everybody that I fucking know in this building on every floor shielding me from whatever's coming. You know? I mean, the only thing that I could imagine that would be, like, taking them off guard is the fact that, hey, there's only one guy in here. You know, they probably have, like, some semblance of, like, a scout team that's out there, you know, keeping an eye on Aven's military force. And, you know, it's like, well, they're all still there, you know, they're all still keeping watch at their posts, so can't imagine there's going to be anything crazy going on, so why bottle up all of our defense here when we can be out causing mayhem and mischief and everything else somewhere else? So maybe the reason why I'm just trying to create a theory here as to why the game would be like, hey, why should we ever densely populate anything when we can just not do that? So I'm thinking the only thing that would make sense as to why this is happening and why this place is just fucking empty is maybe this is just an ambush and they had no idea it was coming. Only thing I can humanly think of. Otherwise, it's just a load of hooey. Like this is the most. This is easily the most that we've run across, and it's at a dead end, no less. It's not even a place we were supposed to go to in the first place. Okay, so we're good in strength, definitely. So we're going to do 2 stamina, 1 dexterity, and then, let's see. What can we do that's going to be practical here? Ooh, critical shot. I like that. That is perfectly worth our time. And then I was thinking either Flurry, Madam Flurry, or maybe dual wield. We already have 3 in that, though. We've got 4 in Flurry. Probably easily our most used thing. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's look at our numbers now. 436 max health, 314 mana, or power, or whatever. Yeah, it's power. We all know it's mana, let's be honest with ourselves. Got a nice bolstering here in top-end damage. Oh, we got all that other stuff. Oh, yes. Oh, this is great. I totally forgot about this. We have all these new pieces of armor. Yes. Got a big boost in dexterity. This is good. And then we've got, yes, the Brigandine Tunic that I can put that Ferris Stone on. Yeah. All right. What? Oh, no, I already did that. Huh. Well, my bad. Okay, so that's fine. We can get rid of that. Oh, wait, no, it's supposed to go on this one. Oh, whoopsie. My bad. Gotta pay attention, Adam. There we go. Okay, and then we've got, let's see, leg plates. No. Ah, yes, the honorable leg plates. Yeah, cool. All right, we've got some stuff now. So now we have 58 strength, 66 dexterity. We got a big boost there, and we've got a lot more stamina. This is a massive upgrade in those things. Cool. And we're very, very close to being able to use this. One more level, and that'll be available. So awesome. I'm very happy. That was a nice little upgrade to get our hands on. Unfortunately, we've got a whole bunch of crap in our inventory that we don't really need to use. So it is what it is. But oh, I don't like the sound of those little things. Like, they sound like they're galloping on the ground, like these weird demon horses or something. They just do like that weird. See, can you hear it? It kind of sounds like they're galloping on cobblestones, but there's no cobblestones. Like, listen. It's a very light noise. Like, it may be kind of hard for you guys to hear it, but it's always sounded like they're galloping around, and it's always bothered me. It always has. It's just like, why, of all the noises you could have conjured up for those things, you had to go with that. Shimmering ring. We've picked up a shimmering ring before. Yeah, it's not going to be worth it to us. That'd be good for, I think, like an alchemist or maybe a druid, but definitely not going to do us any good. We have really no need for intelligence. We just like to be a fucking meathead that works at GNC that just wills everything to death with sheer brute force and lots of protein. Oh, no, you don't. Haha. Woven steel boots. Probably don't need them. I will take some arrows, though. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that was a fairly productive first floor. Actually took a little bit longer to get there than I thought. Yeah! Boy, they're really giving us a lot of woven steel things. There we go. Well, I guess while we're at it, you know, while we're kind of making our way down here, might as well get a little story out of the way. This is kind of a weird thing that happened last night. So, I was at my fiance's house last night until about 2 in the morning. And, you know, we were watching 5 Goes West on Netflix, which I just found out that was a thing that existed. And boy, oh boy, did that make me happy. Wow, that's a much bigger one. Still goes down in one hit, just like the rest of them, though. And so that was awesome. I always forget how wildly quotable that movie is. Just because, you know, I kind of take it for granted. You know, I've watched it so many times in my life that you kind of dismiss it after a little while. But went back and watched it for the first time in a little bit, and man, I literally almost word for word like spoke the entire damn movie. Not like that was an issue or anything, because she totally does it too, because it's you know, her favorite animated movie just like it is mine. And oh god, it was good. Anywho, so afterwards, it's like 2 in the morning. She is basically passed the hell out, and so I was like, well, I need to go home because I got to work early in the morning. So I gather up my laptop and all my stuff, and I start, you know, making my way out to the car. I'm parked across the street. And then kind of a weird moment happens where normally whenever I leave, you know, that street is usually pretty much barren that time of night. Or, you know, might have a couple of cars going by, but you hardly ever run into foot traffic really that often. Or people on bikes or whatever the case may be. But I'm walking out to the car across the street, and I'm putting my laptop bag in the trunk, and I'm getting ready to, make my merry way home since, I was pretty damn tired. And as I'm putting that stuff in the trunk, I see a guy, riding on his bike, on the adjacent street, and he comes right across, like right up to me, and kind of starts circling the immediate area around where my car is. And it's at that moment where I'm like, all right, this is either this guy is just like gonna go like sit down for a minute and take a breather, or he's gonna like awkwardly approach me and try to start up some dialogue where this could go one of two ways. It's either gonna be a completely innocent thing, which is still weird at this time of night, or it's gonna be, it's gonna be some kind of weird, like aggressive sort of thing that's gonna be a weird experience. So either way, it's gonna be a weird experience. And so I decided to go along with it. And he decides, he basically jumps off, or kind of jumps off of his bike. He's like, hey man, so you live around here? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, you do you? He's like, I've never seen you around here before. I was like, well, I live right over there. He's like, oh, you do you? He's like, well, then why have I never seen your car around here before? It's like, because I just recently started staying over here. It's like, why? First of all, who the hell are you? I've never seen you around these parts either. I've been coming over in this area for over a year now, so, since when were you like the fucking Night's Watch all of a sudden? But he's like, no, I'm just, I just thought I'd ask because, I'm in this area all the time and I've never seen your Jetta before. He's like, so that's your place over there, huh? I was like, yeah, it is. He's like, well, where are you going? I was like, what does it matter? It doesn't matter where I'm going. I'm going where I'm going, and then, that'll be the end of it. He's like, huh, all right, yeah. So, hey, what model of Jetta is that? It's pretty nice looking. I was like, well, it's a 2016 Jetta TSI SE, and he's like, huh. He's like, SE, huh? What does that stand for? I was like, probably Sport Edition, I would assume. And it's like, I'm just like waiting for that moment where this guy's either just gonna be like, okay, well, see you later then, or he's gonna like try and fucking like lunge at me to steal the keys to my car and beat me within an inch of my life and, try to shove the bike tire into my mouth and kill me or something. I don't really know. But it was weird. It was very strange. Okay, I haven't been in this area yet. I was like, have I been through this area? Is there an even furthering reason as to why there's even less people here? But, yeah, he's like, oh, you didn't get the clean diesel one? Oh, you should have totally put in an order for one of those. I was like, well, I didn't, and he's like, no 60 miles per gallon for you. I was like, well, I also didn't want to pay the extra price for that, because those were definitely more expensive. And he's like, well, yeah, I guess you're right. And then all of a sudden he just, like, hopped on his bike and just decided he was going to leave. And it's like, why did this conversation in any capacity have to take place? Like, why? What was in it for him on that, He's just randomly just going to go walk up to somebody and very creepily talk to them about where they live and why you've not seen them around before, and then just what model of car you got there, and then he just leaves. And so I waited for him to make sure that he was going straight down the way, because I didn't want him to, think that he got me off guard or something while I'm jumping in the car, and then he comes back and tries to kill me. I went all the way back. That's great. That's real good. It's real good. God, I almost wish that there was like some sort of component for this dungeon map that if you've traveled into a room and you've already been there, that maybe the room like tints another color like on the map. So it's like, oh, you've already been here. Instead of, me rotating the map, getting turned around, and now I have no idea where I am. And then the even weirder part about this was, so he jumps on his bike and he starts going again. He kind of leaves the area, and he just goes straight down the road, and this road kind of, curves off to the left and does a little roundabout sort of thing, and then it just goes down the other street. And as soon as I jumped in my car to realize that he's no longer, he's not going to turn around and try to, rape me and kick me in the dick or whatever, Even though I don't know why you would rape somebody and then kick them in the dick. That just seems in bad taste altogether. There's no way into that. Okay. I decided, I was like, you know what? I want to kind of see where this guy is going, since he seems to be the authority of this area. I want to know where the hell he's coming from. So I jump in my car and I slowly start driving down that way, as he's, you know, slowly going around the corner there. And okay, heavy edge spatha. I think maybe it might not be a bad idea to drop a couple of these things, so that I can make room for it. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be 86-106? That's not really that good. That's fine. We'll leave it. Oh, the thing's here. I thought we had to go down 4 floors for that. Maybe not. I could have sworn we had to go through the whole thing. I wonder why not. Huh. Yeah, shows what I remember about this. But I went around the corner, and, you know, you go straight down a pretty lengthy road before you end up turning off anywhere. And as soon as I went around the corner, I'm just sitting here looking around, like, where could this guy have possibly gone? And as far down as that road goes, he was nowhere to be found. And he's on a bike, and he wasn't riding it very quickly. It's not like he just hopped on and he just fucking Lance Armstronged his way out of the place. I mean, he was just kind of, you know, very gingerly kind of scooting along there. Oh, it's the Nethereye. There he is. Well, I'll shoot him right in his Nethereye with a couple of these. Oh, I forgot. He can actually send an army of dead after me. Interesting. That's alright. You can send however many people you want at me, but they will be no match for me! And we have the Necrosis Tome now. But yeah, dude, he was nowhere to be found. It was absolutely freaking bizarre. I don't know where he went. He was just gone. And then it kind of reminded me of the time that I went Pokemon hunting in my neighborhood, and these kids, when I was on my way back at like 3 in the morning, they were just like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, oh, no, doing pretty good. How about you? And they're like, oh, we're fine. And we went in opposite directions, and I went down the road, and I went only like 15 more steps, and I turned around, and they were nowhere to be seen. They were just gone completely. It's like, am I imagining that they even existed or something? I don't even know. I recovered a strange tome, bound in what appears to be human flesh and written in blood. This tome is undoubtedly what Templar Draven needs to prove that the Nethereye has been vanquished. Oh, can I read it? Oh, I'd love to be able to read it if it'll let me. Can't really tell, because all of these tomes look exactly the same. Which one's the Necrosis Tome? There it is. The Necrosis Tome appears to have been bound in the flesh of outcasts and written in their blood. When you attempt to read the necromantic words, a wave of nausea comes over you and fear envelops your heart. You immediately realize that you are not equipped to handle the dark magics of the necromancers, and close the book before anything worse overcomes you. Well, that was probably a smart idea. A pretty good idea you had there. I don't know why Templar Draven would be the guy. I mean, obviously he wants to be able to prove that you know, that the Nethereye's dead, but I really hope that he's, you know, decides to have me take it to someone else, and instead of being like, hey, let me have a look at that little thing there. Let me see what I can get out of it. And then he just slowly, his eyes just start turning into like a weird red hue, and he's like, oh, don't worry, I've got all the answers for this. Let me just go take it back to my bedroom, and I'm gonna conjure up a couple of things for me. Okay, so don't need those. Don't need those. Level 23, though, that's not worth holding on to for that long. Definitely not. I'm gonna hold on to that. Wind Gem Stud, definitely not for me. It'll be really good for an alchemist, though, or for a druid. Shimmering Ring, don't need it. We got a lot of different types of potions, though. And then, okay, so it looks like we're good, but what can we buy? Is there anything worth buying at this point? Obsidian Vulge. Actually, hold on a minute. Let's go get our quest reward first. That way I don't buy something by accident. The defeat of the Nethereye will undoubtedly quell any ambitions of invasion by the Vrultok nation for some time to come. And by that I mean probably like a few episodes from now or something like that. The Overseer is anxiously awaiting the item that you recovered from the Nethereye. It is in our best interest that you take it to her immediately. Well, that's good. That's good. Overseer Lysetta would definitely be the correct person to take that to. Either that or maybe Aldous in the Grove over there would probably be another good idea. But we'll take it to her, even though she's still looking kind of... Well, no, she looks fine. She doesn't look sickly anymore. This tome is priceless to our cause. I can only hope that it will unveil the importance Kaylee holds to the recent attacks against us. I will begin work on it at once. Please take this. You've more than earned it with your past selflessness and bravery. I would ask that you return to me when you are prepared to once again lend me your aid. I am certain that the treasures you have returned will uncover new leads in our quest. You gave the Necrosis Tome to her, and we got the Honorable Helm. Do we have... I don't think we have this. Oh, that'd be awesome. We're getting so many honorable pieces of armor right now. Oh, no, not the crappy football helmet-looking thing. I mean... Ugh. Outside of the fact that we get 5 armor for it, it looks so stupid. Ugh. I'm putting the Helm of the Stalwart back on, damn it. I am not... I need to have at least a little bit of semblance of style here. I am not going to take that crap sitting down. Okay, so let's see real quick if there's any other quest to take before we go take hers. It's kind of nice that she actually had like a shred of decency into her. It's like, hey, I know you've been doing things like a madman for a while here. Let me at least, let you take a break and, go get a drink or, maybe... go grab like a hot dog, maybe a plate of endless steak fries from Red Robin. You take a minute for you before you come back here and you're ready to lend me your aid instead of being like, oh, well, I know that you just fought off a wave of the dead, but hey, I need you right away again. I have received several reports of an apparition prowling the Splinterful Woods. The Shaylun Mall believe this to be the spirit of a fallen knight known as Sir Braylon. It is only a matter of time before the spirit gathers its strength against us. This cannot be allowed to happen. Although we no longer hold animosity towards Sir Braylon for his mortal past, the Shaylun Mall's involvement would only strengthen the spirit's presence on the world. This is why we need you to perform this service. Consider it an act of mercy if it makes it easy for you. Well, I mean, I guess if that's the only way to look at it, then what choice do we have? Alright, my friends, well, it looks like next time around we are going to go off to the Splinterful Woods because we need to go and deal with the Fallen Knight again. So, well, with that said, my friends, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and watch out for strange people prowling the roads at 2 or 2:30 in the morning because they'll ask you weird things about your car and then disappear into the night and not even exist anymore. So, that's what that is. Take care, everybody. Bye.